Hello to all the beautiful people out there. Welcome back to another lesson of English with Ashish. And guys, today we are going to learn a very important topic in English. That is a determiner. So in this lesson, we will understand what is a determiner, how many types of determiners we have in English, right? How do we use it? We'll also look at some common mistakes that we make. So this lesson is going to be very informative. Make sure you watch it till the end. I'm excited. Hope you too. Let's do it. Alright people, now let us understand what is a determiner in English. Guys, a determiner is a word, sometimes can be a group of words. Most of the time it's a word that determines the meaning of a noun. It always comes before a noun and determines the meaning of a noun. How does it determine the meaning of a noun? It determines the meaning of a noun by making it specific or generic, or by talking about the possession of the noun, or indicating the number or the vicinity of that noun, or talking about its quantity, right? So this is what a determiner does. And guys, we have different types of determiners in English, right? Before we look at different types of determiners, first let's look at some examples where we have determiners. Every person has a chance to do something big. Now, I said a determiner comes before a noun and determines the meaning of it, right? So, in order to find the determiner in the sentence, what do we have to do? We have to find out the noun. And what is the noun here? Person, right? And just before the noun person, we have this word every. So, every is working as a determiner. It's basically a distributive adjective that works as a determiner because it talks about the distribution of a noun, right? Every person has a chance to do something big. Look at the second sentence. I have a car. I have a car, right? So a is a determiner here. It's an indefinite article working as a determiner, right? It's making the meaning of the word car generic, right? It's not a specific car. It's like any car, right? So I is working as a determiner. Next example. My dog is my best friend. So my is working as a determiner here. It's a possessive adjective that's working as a determiner. Why? Because it is modifying or determining the meaning of the word dog and best friend, right? By showing the possession. Whose dog? My dog. Whose best friend? My best friend, right? Next example. Some people do not give up and these people never fail. So some here is a determiner and these also is a determiner, right? Some people, talking about the quantity of the noun people, not a specific quantity, but yeah, it's talking about some people. It's more than one, right? Not many, but some. And these is indicating a number and the location, right? These people, that means more than one, and the noun is close to the speaker, right? Next example. This guy is super rich. He has 10 cars. So this here is our determiner, right? Determining the meaning of the word guy. Which guy? This guy, referring to a particular guy. That's one in number and close to the speaker. So it's determining the meaning of the word guy by indicating a particular number, which is one, also showing the vicinity, which is very close to the speaker. And 10, he has 10 cars. 10 is also a determiner here, which is basically a number, a quantifier, talking about the quantity of the noun cars, right? How many cars? 10 cars. When you say cars, you simply do not know the number. But when I say 10 cars, it's making the meaning of the word cars specific in terms of number, right? So he has 10 cars. So we just looked at different types of determiners, how determiners work in a sentence, right? It comes before a noun, right, and determines the meaning of that noun in terms of making it specific or generic, talking about the possession, indicating a number or its vicinity, right? This is what a determiner does. Now let's look at different types of determiners. So guys, we have 6 types of determiners in English. Guys, these are articles, possessive adjectives, right? Demonstratives, we also call them demonstrative adjectives. Quantifiers, right? Numbers can be included in quantifiers. I like to separate them because separating these two things, quantifiers and numbers, make the concept easy. And there's one more reason to it why I separate them. So you'll get to know very soon. But yeah, just understand numbers are also quantifiers because they talk about the quantity of a noun, right? And the last is distributives that we also call distributive adjectives, right? Now let's look at all these different types of determiners one by one. We'll start with articles first. Guys, articles are the most common type of determiners we have in English. The most common, the most used. All right. Now we have two types of articles: indefinite article and definite article. Indefinite article includes a and n, right? And the definite article is the. An indefinite article makes the noun general, right? It makes the meaning of the noun general. But a definite article makes the meaning of the noun specific, right? Let's take some examples like an apple, right? Any apple. A cat, any cat. A dog, any dog, right? It's not making the meaning of the word apple or cat or dog specific, right? It's not referring to a particular apple or a particular cat or a particular dog. And it also talks about the number, right? When I say an apple, it means one apple. When I say a cat, it means one cat. When I say a dog, it means one dog, right? But when I say the movie, I refer to a particular movie, I refer to a specific movie. The is used to make the noun specific, to make the meaning of the noun specific. So we can say the movie that we watched yesterday was awesome. Guys, you use the definite article the when the person that you're talking to and you yourself know what you're talking about. Both the people know what you're talking about, right? So when I say the movie that we watched yesterday was awesome, I obviously know which movie I'm talking about, and you also know which movie I'm talking about. Had you not known that movie, had you not gone out with me and watched that movie yesterday with me, I wouldn't be saying the movie, right? Because you wouldn't have any idea in that case. Now I know for a fact that you know what movie I'm talking about. That's why I'm making the meaning of the word movie specific. Because I know you know it, I know it. So that's why I'm using the. The movie that we watched yesterday was awesome. Let's suppose you do not know which movie I'm talking about, you have no idea, then I'll not use the here. I'll say, I watched a movie yesterday and that was awesome, right? I'll not say the movie because you do not know which movie I'm talking about, right? Let's take one more example. I love the girl who's wearing the red top. Which girl I'm talking about? I'm talking about a particular girl. The is working as a determiner here, making the meaning of the word girl specific, all right? Which girl am I talking about? I'm talking about the girl who's wearing the red top. So that's how articles work as determiners. And let me tell you guys, articles are the most used and the most common types of determiners. All right, let's do something interesting. I want you guys to open a book or a newspaper or whatever you have, right? Open that, open a page, look at a particular paragraph, right? Now, in that paragraph, find out all the singular countable nouns you have, right? Singular countable nouns mean a noun that is one in number and can be counted. Find out all the singular countable nouns you have and see what you have before that noun, right? In most of the cases, you will have an article before a singular countable noun. That's how common an article is as a determiner. It's one of the most common type of a determiner, right? I hope you have done it. Let's move ahead. Now, before talking about the next category of a determiner, I want you to understand a couple of things about determiners. Number one, it always comes before a noun it determines, right? It always comes before a noun. It does not come after a noun. Always remember this. Number two, when you have a singular countable noun in your sentence, that means a noun which is one in number, singular, and can be counted, countable. A singular countable noun, a noun which is one in number, can be counted, you need to modify it with a determiner. Before that, you have to use a determiner. There's no other way around. You cannot get away without using a determiner before a singular countable noun. You have to do it. If you do not do it, if you leave a singular countable noun unmodified with a determiner, that's a grammatical error and you should not do it. I've seen people saying, my father is doctor, my brother is engineer. That's incorrect. I have car. That's incorrect, right? Because doctor, engineer, car, all are singular countable nouns. One in number can be counted. So you can say, my father is a doctor, my father is the doctor, my father is your doctor, right? You can say, my brother is an engineer, I have a car, I have this car, I have your car, right? Something like that you can say and modify these words, right? So I hope you got it. And the next point is a determiner always comes before an adjective. So you always have a determiner in a noun phrase, right? Now, if you want to have an adjective in your noun phrase, it has to come after the determiner. You cannot place the adjective before a determiner. First the determiner, then the adjective, then the noun. All right. That's the structure that you have to follow in a noun phrase. All right. Now let's move to the next type of a determiner, which is possessives, or we also call them possessive adjectives. These are my, your, his, her, their, our, and its. All right. And why do we use them? We use possessive adjectives as determiners to talk about the position of a noun, right? Let's take some examples. My goal is to help people achieve their goals. So my here is working as a determiner, right? Whose goal? My goal. Modifying the word goal. Goal is a noun, singular countable noun. And before this, we have to use a determiner. My goal, our goal, the goal, this goal, that goal, something like that has to be said. It has to be modified. But modifying a plural noun with a determiner is optional. If you want to modify a plural noun, you can. If you do not want to do it, that's fine too, right? Modifying it is optional. So if you look at this sentence, my goal is to help people. People is a plural noun. I did not modify it, right? My goal is to help people achieve their goals. Here I have modified this word goals with a determiner, with a possessive, which is their goals, right? So my is working as a determiner, there is also working as a determiner, a possessive adjective, right? Next example, she does not love her job. She does not love her job. Whose job? Her job. So her is a determiner here. You can replace this word with any of the possessives. You can say she does not love my job. She does not love his job, her job, their job, our job, right? Uh, any possessive that you want to use, you can use. So that's how a possessive adjective works as a determiner. Now let's look at the next type of a determiner. Demonstratives, right? These are also called demonstrative adjectives. Now, what do demonstratives do? Demonstrative adjectives are used as determiners to indicate the number of a noun and its vicinity, right? We determine a noun using a demonstrative adjective by indicating the number of the noun and its vicinity. Let's take some example. This guy is super talented. Which guy? This guy. So this here is a determiner, right? Indicating a particular number and also indicating the location, which is quite close to the speaker, right? This guy, which is one in number and close to the speaker. I love that girl, right? One in number, but quite far away from the speaker, that girl. So this and that are working as determiners, right? I can say I love these girls, I love those girls, right? So this indicates a noun which is close to the speaker and one in number. That indicates a noun which is one in number and quite far away from the speaker. These indicates a noun which is plural and quite close to the speaker, and those indicates a noun which is plural, right, which is more than one and quite far away from the speaker. So that's how we use demonstrative adjectives as determiners, right? What do? They determine a noun in terms of a number and its vicinity, right? Let's move to a next type of a determiner, quantifiers. Guys, quantifiers are the words that talk about the quantity of a noun, that determine a noun by talking about the quantity of that noun. Now, that quantity can be specific. If it's specific, it's going to be a number. If it's not specific, it's going to be indefinite adjective, right? So that is why I've separated numbers from quantifiers, because numbers talk about a specific quantity, and these words that you see on your screen will talk about some indefinite quantities, right? So all the words that you see on your screen are quantifiers, right? And we'll talk about the quantity of a noun. Let's take some examples. Some people never give up. So some here is a quantifier, is a determiner talking about the quantity of the noun people. Some means more than one, right? But not many. So it's not talking about a particular number. It's not giving you a particular number. And that is why it's an indefinite adjective. Next example, many innocent people lost their lives in the riots happened last week. So many is a quantifier here, is a determiner here, talking about the quantity of the noun people. Many, innocent is an adjective, following the determiner many. Many innocent people. How many people? Many. That means more than one. Quite a good number, but not all, right? And there is also a determiner here talking about the possession, right? Many innocent people lost their lives in the riots happened last week. Next example, I have a few students to teach. How many students are few students? That means I have a couple of students, right? Not many, but a few, more than one. If you guys want to give a negative connotation using few, you will not use a. This is the difference between few and a few. A few refers to a positive number. Few indicates a negative number, right? It almost means nothing. So when I say I have few students to teach, I mean I have almost nobody. The number that I have is equal to nothing. So basically I'm giving a negative connotation using few. All right. Now, if the noun that you're modifying with a quantifier is uncountable, that means you cannot count it. These are the determiners that you use with them, right? These are little, much, enough, and large amount of. These are the most common determiners, common quantifiers that we use with an uncountable noun. All right. Let's take some examples. I got little milk in my fridge. Again, little means almost nothing. So little is a quantifier here, quantifying the noun milk, right? But giving a negative connotation. It's similar to the word a few and few, all right? When you want to give a negative connotation in terms of a quantity of a liquid, you use little. I have little milk in my fridge. That means I have almost nothing in my fridge, right? The milk that I have is almost nothing. But if you want to refer to a positive quantity, you will use a little. I got a little milk in my fridge. That means I got some milk in my fridge. It's not a lot, but it's something. All right. Next example. She does not have much energy left to talk to you. Much here is a quantifier, here is a determiner modifying the word energy, right? Much energy means some energy, but not a lot. The next determiner is a number. Guys, numbers can also be included in quantifiers, right? But numbers quantify a noun with a specific number, as the as the name goes number, right? Now, numbers can be of two types: cardinal numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, and ordinal numbers like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and so on, right? Now, we can also modify a noun with a number. For example, this series has 8 episodes. This is also a determiner, and 8 is also a determiner, which is a number, cardinal number. This series has 8 episodes. So 8 is determining the number of the noun episodes. How many episodes? 8 episodes. Next example. He's got 40 people working for him. How many people? 40 people working for him. So 40 is also a determiner, is a number that's determining the meaning of the word people in terms of the number, which is 40, right? Life does not give you a second chance. So here, second is a determiner, an ordinal number, modifying the noun chance, right? Next example. This is my 5th interview this month. So we got a couple of determiners in this example. Now the first, this is not a determiner, it's a pronoun. Understand this. But my here is a determiner, a possessive adjective, and fifth here is also a determiner, right? Modifying the noun interview. And this that's coming after interview is also a determiner, modifying the noun month. Which month? This month. So that's how numbers work as determiners. Now let's look at the last type of a determiner, which is a distributive adjective. It includes each, either, neither, all, both, every, right? These words also work as determiners and determine the meaning of a noun. Each person, either boy, right? Neither girl, all people. Each person deserves an award. Neither girl gets into the competition, right? So that's how a distributive adjective, that we also call distributives, work as determiners. They also determine the meaning of a noun. So guys, we have looked at all different types of determiners and how we use them, right? We'll talk about all these different types of determiners in separate lessons, right? Now let's talk about multiple determiners in a noun phrase. Can we have different types of determiners in a noun phrase? Can we? Let's understand this. Let's figure it out. Guys, I've already told you the structure of a noun phrase. First a determiner, then the adjective, then the noun, right? Now, if we take numbers out of determiners, this is the structure that we can follow. First the determiner, that does not include numbers, then the number, then adjective, then noun. And when I say determiners, I mean articles, possessive adjectives, and demonstrative adjectives. So I can say the four boys, right? First the article, then the number, then the noun. My four sisters, first a possessive adjective, then the number four, then the noun sisters. I can also use an adjective after the number. I can say my four crazy sisters, right? Last, these two boys, first a distributive adjective, then the number two, then the noun boys. I can also use an adjective after the number. I can say these two amazing boys, these two crazy boys, right? So that is the structure you can follow. But you cannot have multiple determiners out of articles, possessives, and demonstratives. You cannot say the my this car or this my the car or something like that, right? The combination of these determiners, right, in a noun phrase is simply not possible, so avoid doing that, right? If you want to have multiple determiners in a sentence, that's the structure you can follow. The structure is on your screen, right? So that's all about determiners, guys, right? We know what is a determiner now. We know how do we use it in a sentence. We know if we want to use multiple determiners in a sentence, how to do that, right? We know a couple of rules about determiners. So we basically have mastered this topic, right? I hope now you're feeling more comfortable. I hope now you're feeling more confident with this topic. If you are, that's amazing. Give it a like. Give this video a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, guys, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you very soon. Till then, keep learning. Have fun. I'm out.